Hey everyone, welcome back to Bird Talk with Terrence Mathis. I'm William Brandon. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel Atlanta Sports Unlimited and turn on those notifications so you don't miss an episode. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, the simplest sports fantasy game on the market, and you can pick from multiple sports platforms: football, NBA, MLB. And get this, sign up using the code ASU and Prize Picks will 100% match your initial offer up to $100. Download the app for free at the Google Play Store or the App Store. Well, first off, I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Same
And
to you, my brother. Did you have a good
thank you.
Christmas?
I did. I did.
Yeah,
Yourself?
I did. It was really good. Really, really, really good. Yeah.
That's great. I'm glad to hear. It feels like the Falcons front office seem much happier as the Falcons defeat the Indianapolis Colts in
Yeah.
impressive fashion, 29-10. And I say the Falcons front office is happy because there's reports that all jobs are safe, even though the Falcons playoffs hang in the balance. And don't get me wrong, I'm thrilled with the victory, but it just feels a little like fool's gold.
Oh,
But
you
we'll go from there.
here's the thing. I've read that and put that out there. That's good news. That's good stuff for people to,
Mhm.
to look at and comment on, and whoever put it out there, they got what they wanted, some
Intended.
eyes on it, wanted people to respond to it whatsoever. Here's the thing. I guarantee you nobody talked to Arthur Blank about, well, after this win, is Arthur Smith's job safe? I can guarantee you no one has talked to him and Arthur Blank had said those words. Here's the thing. Yeah, you felt good on Christmas Eve because you won a football game. A team you're supposed to beat with a backup quarterback, running back is beat up, starting running back is beat up, starting receiver is out. And here's a team you're supposed to beat, even though it's a team that is on the edge of being a playoff team. It was a really, really good win. But
Right.
here's the thing. When we talk about this stuff, when we talk about coaching changes, players changing whatsoever, we talk about the body of work.
Right.
Yeah, we know that there's gonna be some good games and some great games because that's the NFL and that stuff happens. But we got to look at the totality of the season, the totality of the last 2 years, and then you got to make a sound decision. Is this what's best for my football team? I'm not saying fire Arthur Smith, but all of you this thinking, oh, he's safe now because he won a football game, but you're still not in the playoffs yet. You in the hunt. You see that on that third block that says in the hunt every time you watch a football game and they talk about the playoff race. There's a lot of things that got to happen here. Yeah, if you win these next two, you got to hope for some things to happen, but you did your job for the last three games. Where if you won the last three, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. But
Right.
but here it is. It you can feel good about it. I felt good about the win. I was like, wow, impressive
Yes.
all the way around. Impressive win. Offensively, they were clicking and it looked exciting.
Right.
Defensively, they were making plays flying around. Special teams wise, it was very, very good to see. But I'm asking a question: is it too late? Is it too late? Because here's the thing: you may win the next three in the same fashion, and we're gonna say, "Oh yeah,"
Yeah.
but do you forget what happened the prior games?
Hmm.
Do you forget what happened the prior 2 years and say, "Hey, let's look"? I'm just asking questions.
I
I'm
agree.
not on either side, William. I'm just asking a question. Is Arthur Blank thinking, well, if we win these next three, he's safe? And but forgetting what's happened in the last 50, 60 games prior? Is that the case? I don't know.
I wonder myself, and a question I would like to ask is I wonder if it's ever been said between maybe the head coach and the owner, or the head coach and Richard McKay, because we hear that the owner is friends with his father, FedEx CEO. So I just curious if there's conversations where it's just bluntly said, "Hey, coach, look how much better I did with. I mean, look how much better I did with this other QB."
Mhm.
And then it goes back to, well, if that's the case, then why didn't we make draft the QB, or better prepare for a QB? It still comes down to a decision that was made. So
Right.
we can all say Heineke played great and this, that, and the third, and which he did, and the Falcons look great. But like you said, where's this been? If
Yeah.
that is the case, there's still something that caused this fallacy, that caused this to happen throughout the season. It just isn't misplaced because the Falcons are what I think an 8 seed in the wild card, and the person who's got the tiebreaker is the Minnesota Vikings, which
Right.
was a game that again the Falcons should have had.
Yes.
And at the
Yes.
end of the year, that's my thing because, like you said, I'm ecstatic. I was ecstatic we won. It was a good win. The building was electric.
Yes.
I wasn't surprised. It was the Falcons' last home game. I felt like they were going to put on a good showing. It's
Hmm.
Christmas Eve.
Right.
All the emotions were in the building. We heard all the bad, all the talk about fire the coach and change the
Right.
QB.
Hmm.
So I expected everything. I expected them to turn things around. Did they score a lot more than I expected? Yes, they did.
Hmm.
They did. But I again, I needed to see it sooner. I still would like to see more. If they somehow miraculously make it to the playoffs, then maybe we can have a different discussion. Maybe we can.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing we have to look at when we talk about the quarterback position. There hasn't been really uh, any quarterbacks that have been really lights out. You can talk about Brock Purdy whatsoever. He ran into a buzzsaw against the Ravens. You can talk about Lamar Jackson, who's been consistent all year. You can talk about Jalen Hurts also. But then you look at those tops like Mahomes and you look at Bill's quarterback and all these things. They're not playing well. And then just this today, uh, Sean Payton benched Russell
Russell
Wilson,
Wilson.
who was he's the fourth ranked quarterback in the NFL, and you bench him. So here's the thing. It's one of those things. It's a copycat league. This is a copycat league. When you feel that there's desperation whatsoever, we're gonna make a change. We're gonna do something different because maybe this guy's gonna give us a spark. He may give you a spark for 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, he may fall flat on his face. He may give you a great game, but then the next game it may be a bust. I'm gonna go with the guy. For instance, we look at Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw speaks his mind. Terry Bradshaw on Fox kind of went in on Arthur Smith about the Ritter Heineke situation whatsoever. He said Bradshaw said that Arthur Smith lied to all of us, said Ritter's my guy. We're going with this guy, and you've changed quarterbacks three times already in the season. And here's the thing. I understand how upset Bradshaw is with that. And I can kind of be that same way because here we are. It's a win now league. I said if you're not trying to win now, you shouldn't be doing this thing.
Mhm.
But when you play a young quarterback, he's going to make rookie type mistakes, inexperienced mistakes. But you have to ride with that quarterback if that's your guy. Okay, I know we can talk about Brock Purdy, but he has these dynamic weapons. He has this great defense behind him, but he's in his
And a
second
good
year.
offensive play caller.
Yes, and a great offensive play caller and a great offensive scheme. So he's able to excel. And even when he doesn't get benched.
Mhm.
He doesn't get because what happens is when you go with young quarterbacks, you go in and out with them, they are never gonna develop. Never gonna develop. And honestly, look, Ritter and Heineke, I don't know what their futures are with the Falcons next year, but and I don't know what they're gonna do about the quarterback situation next year. Because we do know there's so much that needs to happen this offseason. I mean, if Arthur Smith is the guy, either we have to change and go about a different way of calling plays and putting together a better system or tweaking the system to make it effective offensively, or we just flat out have to go get a quarterback. And I don't know if you draft one that's going to, if you draft one, guess what? You're going to do the same thing you did with Ritter. You're going to be careful with him. You're going to try not to put him in situations where he's going to make mistakes. So you're only going to use a third of your offensive playbook because you got a rookie quarterback because you don't want to make a mistake with him. You can tell that he opened the playbook with Heineke with a veteran quarterback and he trusted him with the ball. So with that being said, you got to go out and get a veteran quarterback if if that's what you want to do and be successful and open up your playbook, Arthur Smith.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something. The quarterback situation, we don't know where it's going to be going forward. I get tired of seeing people talk about Lamar Jackson. I wanted Lamar Jackson, but people, do y'all understand that the Ravens had the leverage? They were just using Atlanta and other teams to pony up the price.
Yeah.
The Atlanta was going to never be able to get him. They would
No,
have
no.
got him. They would have been able to get all these guys they got this year in free agency. I mean, I
Mm,
wish we could just have a team full of Jesse Bates at each different position,
right.
because Jesse Bates has been that guy. He really has. We've been saying it
Mhm,
week after week, and it
mhm.
continues. It continues.
Yeah. And we need some Jonnu Smiths on offense. We need some
Yeah,
more of those type of guys.
yeah,
You know, those guys that says, "Hey, sense of urgency here. We want to win." Ain't about all this cuteness and this that. Hey, give me the ball and I'm going. I'm going. I'm going. And it's gonna get there. I don't know if it's gonna get there with what we're doing now in the offensive scheme wise, or what we're doing with leadership wise from the sidelines. I don't know, but you have enough tools um, in your toolbox where you can build something that can be sustainable for years.
mhm.
So there's a lot of questions that need to be answered at the end of the year. And Arthur Smith, Rich McKay, Fontenot, those guys, Greg Beadle, they're going to have to really, really sit down and really evaluate where they want to go with this organization.
Yeah, the Falcons are still at the 7 wins, same as the previous couple of years in Arthur Smith's regime. So they got to first see if they can even get over that hump. Like I said, that
Right.
win, it was great. People are forgetting we still got the same amount of wins that we've had the previous few years. We're like a prisoner of the moment.
Right.
With the playoffs were in our grasp. Now, like I said, if the Falcons win out, they're going to need help from the Saints. The Saints need to
Hmm.
beat Tampa, and then you
Hmm.
got to rely on Carolina to win that last game
Right.
against Tampa as well.
Ooh,
Yeah, I know. And
ooh,
and the wild card, I hadn't even looked at what that'll take. I know Minnesota would have to lose, and we would need Seattle, um, possibly to lose out as well. So, I mean, anything's possible. That would really be awesome. But just being realistic right now, they're going to have to try to think of what's going to be for the future. If Arthur Smith is going to be the head coach moving forward, they obviously need a quarterback, and I hope there's going to be a real discussion of Arthur Smith if he decides to remain, if they to keep him as head coach, that they decide to possibly hire or have someone call the offensive plays.
right.
Let someone else handle that and let him be the oversee, let him be the supervisor, so to speak, of the whole operation.
Right.
Um, I feel like that would be the best interest of the team
Yeah.
going forward.
And here's the thing that else that everyone's concerned, been talking about is possibly getting Justin Fields in a trade. And I understand that. And I really do really understand that fit. And but I don't I don't understand where that fascination is with Justin Fields coming here to Atlanta. Maybe because he's from here, um, or is it because we had opportunity to draft him eighth and we did not at the time? Um, I don't know because we can.
A
I've
lot.
said this for weeks. William, I've said this for weeks. I don't care what quarterback you bring in here.
Mhm.
The system and play calling has to change.
It does.
Quarterback just can't come in here and say, I'm gonna do whatever. I'm not gonna do what he asked me to do. I'm gonna do my own thing. Hey guys, let's run these plays. Let's don't listen to the head coach. I know what I'm doing. That's not the way it works.
Right.
So your play caller and your scheme has to change for a Justin Fields or whoever else that you might want to come in here. And then at the end of the day, he has another year on his contract. So does Kyle Pitts. And then you got Algier. Then
You're
you
gonna have
got
to pay them. You have to.
you got guys you have to pay in the
Yes.
next 3-4 years. And you thought we was in salary cap hell 2 years ago. What's about to happen in the next 2 to 3 years?
It's coming.
I know you're gonna have to pull off some magic to make this work.
And speaking of Fontenot, it do you this is just a question to you. Do you think that he's making a lot of decisions, or do you feel like Rich McKay, a guy that's been with the Falcons, is still kind of making some decisions on Falcon
I,
personnel?
I think Rich McKay has a strong voice in that room.
Hmm.
Um, and I think he has a strong influential voice in that room. I think that Fontenot is making decisions and putting options out there, but I think that at the end of the day, Rich McKay has an influence enough where he may be able to sway a thought or a decision one way or the other. You got to understand this. There's even I think two or three other personnel people up there with Fontenot that are former GMs.
Yeah.
So you got four GMs and uh former GM, former president of the Falcons in your ear, and then you got the president, and then I mean, for Fontenot, he has a hard job. People, you just don't understand how hard his job is when you got. Look at this. There's like there's like if you had three head coaches, former head coaches on your sideline, they're gonna coach their butt off. They're gonna do everything they want to do because they want a job. They want a head coaching job somewhere else.
Right.
You got two or three former GMs in the building. Guess what they're trying to do? They're trying to do the best job and be more upfront and this is what we should do and this is the best thing because when jobs come open, they want to put their name in the hat and say, look what I did in Atlanta. So he has a hard job. I don't know how much he trusts all of those guys. Oof. I mean, he knows some of them, but look, I don't know. And I don't know if it's him that hired him or if it was Rich McKay that brought him in, but he has a tough job when you have two or three, four guys over your shoulder looking what you're doing and examining and questioning everything that you do.
Right.
So he has a tough job. And I can understand why we don't see much of him and he doesn't say much. He's probably so happy to get away from everybody sometimes and just breathe. But at the end of the day, they are going to have tough decisions to make. Come come January 2nd, it's going to be oof,
And
it's
that's
going to
what
be crazy.
and speaking of those tough decisions, do you think that what how can the Falcons improve if everything stays the same? And what I mean by that is, of course, they got to go out and get a quarterback. But didn't they have to go out and get a quarterback last year? Maybe draft one, and maybe the year before that. So now, what are we as fans and media supposed to believe if we come back with the same product? Are we supposed to win more than 7 games? Because we can't barely do it now. So that's my question. I just don't understand. If this is the same everything as far as it's running the scheme and of that nature, how are things going to be different just because we throw a quarterback in there?
Well, the thing is, you can't coach worried about making mistakes. You can't coach to not lose a game.
Hmm.
That's the best way to put it. Coach to win the game, and it's going to be look. The guys you coaching against are professionals too. The coach across the field from you is a professional also, and they get paid. They're
Yeah.
going to make plays, but you cannot give them opportunities by being lax and being afraid because you're afraid that we're gonna make a mistake or we're gonna turn the ball over because the advantage is to them because we're not playing at our full capability when you do that. Because honestly, I know this from experience. If a play comes in, if it's 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 7, and I'm in a huddle and I'm like, oh yeah, we're about to run this play. We're about to run, whatever it is. And it comes in and it's a draw or it's a run play. I'm going, wait a minute. Even offensive linemen are going, ooh, this is gonna be tough to get these 7 yards. You don't ever want to put doubt in their mind. You want to players want to play hard, they want to play fast, they want to be aggressive. You say 3rd and 7, you go, let's go max protect and let's go both receivers go deep. They love that type of stuff. They like, yeah, because now you play into the strength of the emotions of a football game because it's an emotional game.
It
And
is.
guys want to play emotional. They don't want to be
That makes
unemotional when,
sense.
when you call a play. So if it's 3rd and 7 and we go, hey man, let's dial it up and see what happens. Because guess what? Because I know my top ranked defense is gonna hold them down if we don't. If we have to punt it whatsoever, we don't. So that's the confidence you have to be a play caller in this league.
And it's funny that the people, are the fans and media speaking about Justin Fields because that's where Atlanta heads this week. Another cold game. I was just looking up. It's going to be a high of 36 degrees.
Mhm.
Another cold should be pound the ball running game for Atlanta. So, in another game they should win. Honestly,
Right,
if you look at the
right,
scale, if you look at the records, this
right.
is something that the Falcons should win.
Yeah.
How do you think this is going to play out on Sunday?
Here's the thing. Here- here's here's the here's the thing, and it's not funny. It's really not funny. Uh, the Bears coach is coaching for his job.
Mhm.
Falcons coach is pretty much coaching for his job. And and right now Justin Fields is, you know, he's interviewing.
Yeah,
That's what
he's
we call
already
him out
talking
there.
like he's out the
He's
door.
interviewing.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's pretty much interviewing for, wherever, if they're gonna ship him off, wherever he's going, he's interviewing. And it's been talk that it may be Atlanta, so he's interviewing for Arthur Blank and Rich McKay and Greg Beadle and Fontenot right now. So it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a tough game. It's a game we should win. It's a game that we need to win to stay in this playoff race. But I think it's gonna be a physical game, low scoring game. Um, but I think the advantage is in the Falcons' favor. I think honestly, it shouldn't be close, but it's going to be close because, like I said, everybody's interviewing right now, head
Hmm.
coaches included. So it's going to be played tight, but I think the Falcons should win.
Yeah, they should. Like I said, it's going to be a cold, frigid game. They won that one that they played in New York earlier in the year, and what they went Tampa and the one in London. I
Yeah.
think that's the only road wins that they have on the season. So they're definitely going to need to scratch out these last two. What do you got for us in the show today?
You know what? I've been thinking about it all day, and pretty much have nothing today. And I always say that, then I go on and start talking about it. But I really don't have anything today. Here what I want, what I want, this is more of a, instead of a word, this is what I want you guys. This is what I'm gonna do starting January 2nd. Every year, me and my wife go on a 21-day fast to start the year. And we fast for favor and blessings for the new year. And so we always do a Daniel's fast, which is consists of fruits, vegetables, nuts, whatsoever. No meat, no dairy products, or all those things, just fruits and vegetables, because that's what Daniel asked for when he was held captive by the king, and he came out with favor from the king because of the things that he did. So I'm not asking you to do a Daniel's fast. If you want things to change in your life, if you want favor and blessings for this year, uh, make a sacrifice for God. Make a sacrifice for God. Give up social media. Give up, I don't know, drinking for 21 days, smoking for 21. I can't even have a cigar for 21 days, William.
Yeah, during your fast,
um,
right?
whatever it might be, sweets, whatever it might be, um, give it up for 21 days. And in those 21 days, every day when you get up, you don't have to say a big prayer whatsoever. Just says, Lord, give me strength and grant me favor for the day. And then go about your day. And then before you lay your head down, say, Lord, thank you for granting me wisdom and favor for the day. Amen. That's it. Do that for 21 days. And also what we do is we do a petition. We write up a petition the day before we start our fast, and then we'll pray over it and put it in our Bibles. And so we're going to open the Bible on the January 1st, the evening of January 1st, and look at the petition that we made for 2023 and see how we've been blessed, and is any of this, uh, have we granted any favor from what we did for the 21 days starting the 2023 year. So do
So,
that and see what happens. And if you have problems, if you can't do it, if it becomes a struggle, you know where to find me. DM me. We'll pray together. We'll talk it through, whatever it is. But let's do something. Let's do something different. If you haven't done it before, try this. Try something different, and let's see what happens.
That's awesome. Thank you as always, T. All right, Falcons, continue to win. Continue to win. I still believe y'all have it in you. So let's see that dog come out.